The Human Founder Podcast by Gali Bloch-Liran.
Hi, I'm Gali Bloch-Liran and welcome to The Human Founder, the podcast where we speak about the mental aspects of the entrepreneurial journey. Entrepreneurs often describe the emotional roller coaster that is embedded in being an entrepreneur investor, where you experienced the lowest of lows when the war started in Ukraine and you felt completely lost, unable to help your family, friends, and colleagues, facing danger far away, and the highest of highs when you become a mother for the first time and you held your child in your arms, the moment my heart expanded beyond measure, forever changing my perspective on love and leadership, as you said. And it's from that place of uncertainty, the need to constantly self-manage ourselves, keep up our energy and be mentally resilient in order to deal with everything. Well, it's not easy. In each episode, I will be talking to entrepreneurs, investors, psychologists, being their sounding board, with the goal of creating a space for this less spoken about layer, which is the mental aspect accompanying the entrepreneurial journey. I will also share tips and tricks to help boost your focus, clarity, and mental resilience. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Lisa Zaythik. Hey, Lisa, it's really, really great to have you here.
Hello.
When you left me an email that you'll be happy to join the podcast, so I said, wow, that's amazing. This kind of angle we still didn't have, so I'm very, very happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Lisa, you're balancing the vibrant worlds of technology and family, navigating your role as Chief People Officer and founding partner at Appsflyer, with both strategic acumen and a deeply rooted sense of compassion. Alongside your entrepreneurial journey, you cherish your role as a spouse, sharing life's adventure with your partner, Oren, and a proud mother to 4 wonderful children. As an immigrant, you've embraced the true value of resilience and innovation, seeing every challenge as an opportunity for growth. At the heart of it all, you are an advocate for women in tech and a firm believer in leading with kindness, celebrating diversity, and spreading joy wherever you go. I see the smile, and we talk about it all soon. So just a second before we dive into today's episode, make sure to follow the Human Founder Podcast in the app you're listening at. I'd be happy if you click on review, follow, or subscribe, depending on the platform, and rate the podcast. That way, you'll keep your finger on the pulse and be updated right away with all the new episodes straight to your feed. And it will also support the podcast to keep rising to the top. So let's dive into today's episode. Lisa, it's really, really great to have you here. We have so many things to cover. Women in tech, you are as part of the founding team of Appsflyer, being a mother in this, being an immigrant, all the things that we've mentioned in the opening. Tell us a little bit about how it all began in Appsflyer.
You know, on the way here, I listened to another podcast, which I also very appreciate. It's by Patrick Lencioni.
Mm-hmm.
And his podcast at the table speaks about different leadership aspects, human aspects. And I listened to the episode that speaks about strategy takes courage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very interesting experience because it really connects the dots of me driving here this morning and speaking about my life experience, my professional experience, different aspects of my professional life and passion, and how really build a strategic life course and what it takes. And it really takes a lot of courage to make brave decisions. A brave decision I made when I was 17 to separate from my family and come to Israel just by myself with a Jewish agency program, and my family, my parents, everybody I knew, my friends left in Ukraine and build my life from the beginning. Then to take a courage to join early stage startup. And I'm not speaking about Appsflyer. I'm speaking another startup. I joined at very, very early stage when I was just graduated from college. And many, many different things I did through my life that really took a lot of courage. And when we look at the life experience that we're going through, it's full of opportunities, but also challenges and adversities. And resilience is the most important skill that we can develop and focus that can help us in many different life situations.
You know, I really connect and relate to what you said. And courage is such an important muscle. And sometimes when people say courage, they mean to do the impossible. But to my opinion, courage is simply, you know, just to decide that you go for something. And even if you fail, you try again. And to do things in spite of the fear, maybe, that you're feeling towards things, but not to let it make you freeze or stay in place, but to act. Even though if you fear, you're not sure, you have anxiety to it, in the front of it, just to do something. And it's really beautiful how you connect the dots of really having courage, actually, to live life at its fullest, right? Even to become mother, you need courage for this, right?
You need courage to have 3 kids in 3 years. Definitely, you need a lot of courage for that.
Courage,
often people ask me, how did you do it? And my answer is, don't do it at home. You need to be prepared to take this courage.
So take us back, before we dive to Appsflyer, take us back to the age of 17. When you decide to come to Israel and leave your family abroad and your friends, and you have this courage, you make this decision. How do you know it's the right thing to do? What is your plan?
You don't know. Certainly, you don't know much when you're 17, but you're full of ambition and willingness to conquer the world. And I think for me, it was also looking at the cards I have in my hand and how I can improve my cards and how I can play them the best way. So for me, when I was given a card to move to Israel, which was very completely like new for me. Like I didn't grow up as a Jewish. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors or Second War survivors. Even not all of them were Jewish. They had a really big scar on their life, being identified as Jewish. So when we grandchildren grew up, they hid this from us. So we didn't grow as a Jewish family. My grandfather didn't want us to know much about his experience. He had a tattoo.
So you didn't know you're a Jew, or it just wasn't talked?
I didn't know until age of 14.
Wow.
Yeah. And my mom, she's a Christian, and my father, who is Jewish, he passed away when I was just 1 year old, and I didn't meet him, don't remember him. And so I grew up in a Christian environment, and my grandparents didn't want us to know much about Judaism. But when I was 14, it was discussed at some family forums, and my grandparents decided to move to Israel to relocate with their siblings.
Wow.
So this is when I discovered this side of myself.
Wow.
And I went to an adventure to explore and learn more about it. So I learned more about Judaism, and I joined Jewish club in my city, and I started visiting it. And after 2 years going to the club, I decided that I want to try my luck moving to Israel. So I applied at first to Nale program, and I wasn't accepted. You need to go through certain exams. And the year after, when I finished high school, I was accepted to another program, Sela. And then I came to Israel with another group of young people from all over the world to young community near Sderot called Ibim. And I was there for almost 2 years.
And it's amazing. It connects to the entrepreneurial journey, how the first time Nale told you no, and then you tried again, because you always have to try again. And when we prepped to the podcast, you told me it's really nice, so I'm going to read it. There's no plan B to my plan A. I can only win. And I really, really like it, because this is the spirit, and it goes with you from a very early stage and towards your whole journey, your life, your career. Like you're focused on it, and you're doing with the courage, whatever it takes, like to have it.
I think when you're not focused on a word at the end, but you're looking at the journey, and you understand that, my plan A is to win and to succeed. But I don't know exactly what will be the final award. So this is when you're not locked on the final outcome, and you know to compromise and to find alternative solutions for your success story.
So you began in the marketing career. The journey began in marketing performance and other things, and you transitioned into HR and people and co-founding a startup. Tell us about this moment of time when you started to ideation and initiation of Appsflyer, and how your role and your leadership and your transition actually happened there.
Sure. You know, when I look now at the young professionals joining the employment market, after 1 year, they want to be promoted, to have a new
VP.
title, new job. The position should grow. I need to have more responsibilities, more important. It took me 10 years to understand what exactly I'm passionate about, what I'm good in, what I want to invest in. And it's a journey, and we need to have this patience to develop a career. So for me, I joined in the marketing simply because I was really good in sales. And I was working as a student in different like mobile shops, and I was always interested in about technology. And when I studied in Sapir Academic College, I studied marketing technology. So I took different aspects of marketing and technology and negotiation and a human aspect. And ironically, during my BA studies, I took a course for organizational development. It was a mandatory course, and I failed badly twice. Ironically, because this is my career today.
Yeah.
But I failed in it. It was really difficult for me to remember all the theories and to answer the questions exactly how it was expected to do in the academical direction. But when I grow my career and I explore this world of HR, learning and development, recruitment, it has so much to do with marketing. Because, you know, as I wrote on your questions, that in marketing, we need to see how we sell value, how we support our sales organization to create value to our clients. And in people, we also create value for our people. We need to see that they join the company and they find value in it.
I couldn't agree more. My previous career before doing what I am doing today was also in marketing. And I think when it comes to people, you need to understand behaviors, and especially today with all the research around the customers' behaviors, etc. You need to see people. You need to understand trends. You need to understand psychology, because at the end, people, whether they are the customers, whether they are the employees, it's all psychological, to understand what motivates them, whether it is to come to work and whether it is what to buy, right? What systems to use, etc. And this ability and both of those capacities of the marketing experience and the people experience, I don't like to call it HR, but people experience, they are so important for each position whatsoever, to my opinion. Because nowadays, there's another layer of the personal brand. Nowadays, when a candidate wants to go to a specific position or to a senior leadership position, it's also about, the personal brand that we own with time and with our experience. And this is exactly where the marketing experience and the people experience also joined together. And I'm with you in the connection that you're making. So, but there's another layer to your story, because you told me earlier how your roots in marketing and performance actually paved the way to your future and currently present. But before you'll dive there, you mentioned something really important, to my opinion, about patience, about being patient. Now, it's not just the moving between positions, because that's okay. I mean, I changed my career every 2 years. That's okay. I think I was earlier in time, to do it. But the question is, how do I evolve and how do I grow up in each position and take new things to my toolbox so that in the next position, in the next layer, in the next step of my career, I can evolve and bring all the knowledge and all the things that I've took along the way with me to the next phase. And when people trying to be too quick and I always laughing about it, that in the startup world, everyone wants to become VP and C-level, they just finished university yesterday, but the titles, we have an issue here with titles. It's based on ego and few more things, but to earn it. And also I think that one of the important things that startup leaders do is not from the beginning, to give the highest title. You need to grow for this, to understand the organization, and also for the people. They will have the ambition, to grow. But they took it to some various directions. So take me to the change that you made from marketing to people and how actually Appsflyer began.
Sure. Wow, it's a good question. When you went speaking, I was thinking about something else. So let me just open for something else. Before I came here, we celebrated 10 years anniversary.
Wow.
One of our employees. And we're going to have another 10 years anniversaries this year. So there's really brilliant people who've been with Appsflyer for a decade. And I told Daniel told you I'm going to speak about you today. So now you have to listen. And I told him, it's amazing to see that you didn't change. You didn't change in terms of how he looks, okay? He's amazing guy, very outgoing. It's so easy to communicate with him. He's so friendly, and he's a great friend beyond being an employee in Appsflyer. But he learned so much. And his career moved from being the first salesperson in Appsflyer to partner development, to different roles with business development and working with the most strategic partners Appsflyer has today, to chief of staff and a VP working with the chief partner officer. So he's been with Appsflyer for 10 years. He moved from different career passes and roles. He continues learning every day he comes to the office. He wants to continue to learn into the world. And this is an amazing story. And my story, pretty much the same. I started as a marketing. This was the thing that I knew to do before. And then we were just 5 people startup when I joined. And we started growing and opening more offices. So someone had to lend a hand to do it. So when you start up, you're just picking up things that are on the floor and you just taking care of them. So I found that I'm passionate on getting into the unknown areas for me and to build it. Open new offices, make sure that people are set up for success. And this is how I opened Appsflyer Academy, which is our learning and development program to onboard new employees, which also was extended to an onboarding for our clients. And we're doing many Appsflyer masterclasses around the world to provide education to the market. Being a market leader in our area, it comes with the territory. You need to support your ecosystem and you need to share your knowledge. So this is what we've been focusing on from the educational standpoint. And for me, my transition into the people role started with learning and development, establishing Appsflyer Academy, looking at the onboarding process and how we can optimize this process operationally wise and efficiency, but also generate value also for our people, but also for our customers. So people that join new startup will have all the tools and skills they need to start rolling, you join today, tomorrow you start selling.
That's really a beautiful story. First of all, I see the passion while you're talking about it, because it's really like another baby within the baby that you've developed. And the story about Daniel, he has so many beautiful angles. First of all is the commitment, mutual commitment of him to the company and of the company to him. Second is the persistence, is the persistence to grow within the system, to develop all the time, and also the responsibility to grow yourself within it, and also how much you can change and change the angles within the same the organization. And also it says a lot about you that after 10 years, people stay with you. 10 years as an organization, and he's not like the founder that, the connection is stronger when you are a founder of a company, but to be key employees that transform and develop and grow, it means so much, and it says so much about the atmosphere, about the culture of an organization. So tell me, this academy that you have today is both for the employees and for your clients, like marketing education in different ways?
So it's different instances. One is internal and one is external. Up until January 1st, 2024, I was managing both internal and external education. And we did a transition to marketing under the product marketing team. We transitioned the external education team. So they will be working together to make sure that we have the same narrative and the same messaging and the same look and feel for our clients in all collaterals that we execute. And today I'm leading the internal part of the education. But yes, they grew hand to hand for many years, and I'm very proud for this baby to graduate.
That's amazing. Lisa, can
graduate
we go
to marketing? Back to what was my home
like
before.
a closure, like we have a full circle here. Can we go a bit personal?
Yeah.
So I'm talking to many founders, male, female. You're a founder and a spouse of a founder in the same startup, and you have 4 children together. That's a lot. That's a lot from so many levels. Take us a little bit to this place of what does it mean? I think 2 major things. How do you work with your spouse for so many years in a fast-paced growing startup? This is one angle, plus a 3rd co-founder. And how do you also be the spouse of a co-founder? Because you have here few hats. How do you manage it? How do you make it work? How, for so long, for so many years, that's what my grandma used to say. And with a smile, and it's so complex because sometimes there are conflicts and different interests, and you have and you want to develop your career also. So how do you manage all those different things? Take us deep.
Spouse, 4 kids, hamster, and 2 street cats we adopted, to be exact. Look, I think our relationship been built on a mutual support. And there's no relationship that you can go just your way. Like you build something together. We build family and a successful company. And there's many more things that we are going to build together. Being a mom, an executive, and a spouse to executive with a very busy schedule comes with an understanding that you need your strategic partners in life and see how you manage the household, which is very busy, in a dynamic environment. I'm traveling to different offices, conferences, meetups. I'm meeting with our people around the world. Of course, there's some periods in life when I'm on maternity leave or I'm at later stage of a pregnancy, I cannot travel. It has some limitations, which male executive doesn't have. And we need to see how we bridge these gaps in relationship, but also in general in the workplace, how we provide these bonds for people to build grounds for equal career development. And we both very much committed to this. Oren is exactly the equal parent and partner to the house and to the kids as I am. We share this responsibility. We have our strategic partners. I call nannies and babysitters strategic partners because they are very strategic for any household. And you need to build this. So I'm really good in operations, as you know. So this is, I build a support system that allows both of us to manage our career. I didn't build this system to support my career. And I'm always putting an emphasis to this. And when I'm speaking with other female executives or not executives, and they say that, they need help, they're like, both of you need help. Your house need help. And you need to share this help together. So, I have very good templates to manage schedule for 4 very busy kids. They have very busy after-school programs and driving setups. And I'm very much enjoying it. And I think what we've been focusing on as parents is to have the quality time with kids. We don't spend much time with them. We're both very busy. But we have this hour and a half in the morning before they're setting up for school. So we try to make the most fun and good time together and to set them up for success in the day that they're out to the external world. And then when we meet in the evening for the dinner around 6:30 p.m., we have another 2 hours before they go to bed. So we're really focusing on how we generate value and enjoy this time together and make it a quality time. Although it's not very many hours a day, it should be something that we learn, they learn. And I'm not speaking about educational aspects of it. But
what do you do, for example, in the mornings, in the evenings? What do you do, for example?
The regular stuff all families do, preparing, dressing up and going out and having breakfast. But how you do it, this is what matters. And, no one is perfect. And not always I'm the best version of myself I want to be in the morning. But when I'm focused on this and I'm conscious about it, what experience my kids are having and what experience they're gonna give people around them during the day, it makes a difference.
You described it so beautifully, and it's so simple. It's in the simple things, the way we talk to them, the way they describe everyday situations, and we reflect to them on those kind of situations, the way they are consulting with us about different decisions of different life stages, etc. So having strategic partners in life, nannies, babysitters, housekeepers, that's great, and it's so important. How do you handle it sometime at work? For example, co-founders, they always have disagreements, even if their relationships are strong and good and lots of trust, etc. Sometimes I think that way, you think that way, and we need to manage it. But you also go home together. So it makes it a little bit, I don't know, maybe more complicated, maybe easier. How do you manage it?
I started with strategy takes courage. Yeah, it takes courage. Okay, and strategy, it's not an intellectual thing. It's the decision making you are having about your career. We intentionally decided to be partners in life and also partners in business. So we have disagreements, but they are with our business career. We don't bring these disagreements home. We are not discussing business at home or challenges we have at work. We might discuss some inspirational stuff or vision, or I had an idea about something which is visionary, not about day-to-day operations.
Do you really succeed to have this boundary that what belongs to work stays at work, and when we go home, what belongs to home is at home?
It was a learning process. We're doing this for 12 years. Yeah, at the beginning it was more difficult, but you need to practice it. And also practice keeping each one accountable. So when I start speaking about something related to business, Oren will say me, we're not discussing it at home. And I'll say, you're right, this is our agreement and we should be committed to this. Or the other side, if Oren brings something up and says, like, I don't want to talk about this now, and he respects this. So we need to keep each one accountable for the decisions we made and separate. We can have a very difficult day in the office and arguing about something that will enter the home and smiling, okay, now it's a kid's time, okay, new shift.
What helps you in this exact moment when you're struggling with different things that of work related, and then the moment before you step inside a house to make this mindset transition, this new energy, this new breath? What helps you to do this shift? Just consciousness?
Consciousness. Yeah, I think it's consciousness. I don't have like a specific tool or a mindfulness or a moment of a meditation. You just made a decision. You made a decision and you committed to a decision.
Very pragmatic.
Yes.
You're a very pragmatic person, yeah?
I'm very realistic
Very
person,
realistic.
But I'm also a very big optimist. I truly believe that the future is bright, okay? And the decision we made to have fun with kids in home, this is a long-term decision. Yeah. This is a long-term decision will impact their whole life, how they're going to grow and what they will take from these experiences with us.
I see it in your eyes when you talk about it. Yeah, like your eyes are shining. It's like you can see it. And also I think that the leading by example, the role model that the both of you and each one separately brings home, it's amazing. You show them how you're being entrepreneurs, how you're scaling a company for many years. How do you do it together? There are so many life lessons about communication, support, lifelong learning, decision making, so many things that without even necessarily speaking about it per se, you act this way. And to my opinion, as a mother, this is the best way to educate our children, just to make them see
Absolutely.
the way we are.
You know, this week we have this Purim celebrations in school.
Yes.
And our daughter Eden, she's 7 years old in the second grade. She volunteered for a talents show. And she's not the most confident person on earth. She's very gentle and self-centered. And her elder brother, Adam, he's much more confident. And they born like a year and a half apart. They literally 18 months apart. And growing in the shade of very full, confident brother has its cost. And I'm trying always to encourage her and support, but also seeing a very strong mother also sets a very high standard for her. So we need to find these gentle adjustments for our kids to make them feel comfortable, to be what they want to be. And the fact that she volunteered for this talent show this year, and she went up on stage with her another friend to do a rollerblades dance.
That's amazing.
For the whole elementary school. I was so proud of her, and I saw her how she proud about herself, us being proud.
That's amazing. And I'll take it to another note that, you know, we have maybe our own thoughts as parents, but our job is not just to bring our thoughts, is to see the children as they are, for what they are, for whom they are, always to try to help them, to push them a little bit, you know, further, but to see them, their characteristics, their traits, their, you know, pace, and we cannot make them what we want. We need to listen to what they want and to help them evolve in that manner. And I think it has a lot of similarity also to when developing and nurturing employees. Of course, you need to guide them, and you need to show them where you want to go and what is the vision and what are KPIs and targets. But we also want to use your strength and to help you evolve in this position where you are with your strength.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think confidence makes a lot also in parenting, but also in leadership. How you build this confidence with your people in your team so they can reach success. How you build this people often speak about psychological safety.
Exactly.
Okay, this is the confidence people have to make mistakes and to try different things and not being afraid to go into unknown and to build confidence about things that we're unperfect. You know, speaking about kids, it reminds me like different situation. And my son, who is 5, he's treated with growth hormone. And we had like an activity in the kindergarten where we brought a story about Lionel Messi, who also was treated by growth hormone. And we read the story, and he explained to whole this group in the kindergarten, and he showed the pen he's taking every day. It's an injection, and it's very difficult for 5 years old. And building the confidence with him from early stage for speaking about the things, which, you know, for us as adults, I ask myself a question, should I really speak about this? How kids will look at him? Will it change their perspective about him? And say, no, kids don't have it. And as much as you normalize differences, they are becoming part of the life.
Because they are much more pure than us. We have all those thoughts and considerations because with life, we take it on us. But they're much more pure, and that's amazing how you help him normalize it, because if this is the message that he conveys, this is how other people will see him and will treat him. And like you said about the confidence, so we're not always confident in what we do. We don't necessarily know the answer. But to have this psychological safety surrounding space when we know we can make a mistake, be ourselves, and that our leader, our manager, our colleagues, they want us to grow and they believe in us, this really, really makes a difference. So how does it feel to be two spouses and third co-founder, which is a childhood friend or school friend of Oren? How does it work together?
Reshef is an amazing man. And he and Oren went together to the high school, traveled all Latin America, studied in Technion, and they very different personalities, like completely opposite. But they go well so good, and they just support each other and they listen to each other, and they understand each other difficulties, which was very inspiring to see their journey, how they grew. And actually, at the early stages of Appsflyer, when we were going through the first seed, I think, founding round, they went to a couple treatment for founders to make sure they found the right path for them to cooperate, because they were committed to their relationship as co-founders.
And do you find yourself actually the spouse of Oren, but also co-founder of Reshef? And you know, sometimes it's like this kind of threesome in the way you manage the things.
I didn't feel any challenges in this relationship between us. It was always built on trust.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So
we're great friends. We're friends with spouses, and our kids are meeting all the time. It's been a life journey for both of us. Actually, Reshef's son celebrating bar mitzvah, 12, and he's the age of Appsflyer. So they sent an invitation to bar mitzvah, and Oren instantly replied, "Wow, it's a bar mitzvah of Appsflyer as well, Alon and Appsflyer."
That's really exciting. So how does it feel, or what are the main things, you know, you're scaling from small startup to 1,500 people, global company, all around the world as chief people officer? I'm sure there are many things, but maybe the main, you know, things that you see in the values, in the culture that helps you as the chief people officer to keep the company on the right direction, go to the right place, make the people unite. What are the main things, to your opinion, and the way that you built it in Appsflyer?
Look, culture is very important, and many times people ask me, how do you preserve culture? And I think it's a wrong question. The question is how you develop, how you evolve the culture, because culture is evolving and it's changing all the time.
It's dynamic.
The culture of 5 people startup is very different from 100 people or 500, 1,500. It's changing all the time, and I think what keeps us united and what's very special for us is the pride we take in being part of Appsflyer and how we make people proud to belong to this community. And this brings me to the social impact and the corporate social responsibility we created with Appsflyer Cares. It's a commitment we took on us from day one. From day one, we were focused on doing well by doing good. And it was a business decision for us. How we support community, how we do sustainable business decisions, and how we look at the entire ecosystem as something that we want to grow together. We not just want to grow our business, we want to see how we grow with our customers, with our partners, how we make them successful as part of our success story. And it comes with a lot of responsibility on the social aspects, speaking about diversity and inclusion, environmental sustainability, educational programs, and different causes that we support all over the world. And the fact that we're a very global organization with 20 offices around the world, each region and office have the freedom to select the cause they want to contribute for. We will help them to facilitate, to support with the budget, and help them to build a plan as a part of Appsflyer global commitment. But they really do what matters for people. It's not that we decided we're going to plant a tree forest and everybody does it. No, there's regions that decide to do what really matters for their people. And it's what makes people proud and connected and engaged.
And staying 10 years in the company and more.
Right.
Yeah, because they find themselves really contributing and part of, and that's really meaningful. So when you started at Appsflyer, we spoke about it in the beginning, from marketing career. And now you are an executive, you develop the whole HR and people operations and people partners, etc. For people who wants to make a career change, let's say in the, chapter B, plan B, in the middle of their life, sometimes they have a lot of fears. It goes back to the courage we spoke about in the beginning of the conversation. But like, how will I transform my career now? Whether it is to another vertical for marketing to HR, and whether it is to become a freelance or to open my own consultancy or to become an entrepreneur at the age of 40. What are the main learnings that you have from beyond the courage and believing in yourself that we spoke about it began already in the age of 17 and probably much younger than that, but in the career development that you felt like directing you?
I cannot ignore courage. Also because it was so sound in the podcast that I listened this morning, but also it made me really think about, because courage is being comfortable, being different. Okay? Challenge the status quo and not go in the same path that people expect you to be. Actually, strategy takes courage. Also, you can see it in the companies that made a significant change. We had companies like Nokia. They were very strategic and very big 20 years ago. They probably didn't have the courage to be different at the right time. Or BlackBerry. I just watched the movie on the plane back from Bangkok from the SKO we had last week. So being different and choosing a different path comes with a lot of courage.
And responsibility.
And responsibility. And resilience, I think, because you need to be able to make these changes and to take these risks in order to explore different opportunities.
That's really beautiful, and I like the way you framed it, the courage to be different, to pursue your own path, to be different. And the reason I added responsibility, because I think it goes hand in hand, because when you choose to be courage, to act this way, it means that you also take full ownership and full responsibility on the path, on the mistakes that you make, on the success that you have.
It.
You own it, exactly. And I think it goes hand in hand together. And I think this is something very unique also for the entrepreneurial mindset, that you have to have this deep feeling of ownership, of responsibility, of accountability. There are many different words in the same area that a founder needs to have. And the founder, like in the capacity of a founder, when you initiate something, then to believe that you can do it. You wrote me in the prep, and I think it really connects, from Paw Patrol, right? We all know it from the children. You wrote the slogan, "No pup is too small, no job is too big." And I think it really is this, because when you believe in yourself, even if you don't know how, you'll figure it out. But you believe that you can do this. You believe you have the ability. You believe in yourself. You have the resilience to try and to bounce back after you fall. And of course, you're falling all the time. We have, things that falling. This is the thing. This is the thing.
I cannot put it another way. You said it so rightly. And when you have this focus on things that you set for yourself, goals, targets, vision, you just being focused on it. And in the long term, you will always succeed if you look always to develop yourself. In the short term, of course, you're going to have challenges every time.
You win because you're being aligned to your center and to yourself and the way that you see life. So if the journey is in the right direction, because it's not like you see the success points, you see the touch points all the time. All the time you have to confront yourself with reality, to ask yourself, to fine-tune yourself. I'm on the right direction. Am I coping and working and developing according to my core values, according to the way I see things? And if the answer is yes, that is success. If you succeed to live according to the plan, to the values, to the vision that you see, and it's on a daily basis, both as a co-founder, an executive, a startup leader, and of course, as a parent.
In Appsflyer, we have a famous saying, 1% done.
1% done.
Each presentation ends with last slide, 1% done.
I love it.
And 1% done means a lot of things, and people can interpret it differently to them, where it takes them. 1% done means that there's 99% of opportunities out there, and you can only grow. 1% done means that if you improve yourself by 1% every day, you become so much better at the end of the month, quarter, year, 10 years, decade, whatever you decide. And 1% done is something that you set for yourself, how you just keep on moving.
I really love it. I really love it. I usually always look at this I like to do it like that. You know, every day you need to take yourself, like there's a thread here that takes a little bit, 1%, you know, higher, taller, like to grow every day a little bit in the directions that you choose.
Growth, it's uncomfortable.
Of course. You have to cope all the time, but this is life, the way I see it. And also that what you said, especially, you know, this time of us being here in Israel or in the Ukraine when we spoke earlier, when we have challenges, business, family, personal, all levels, doing this 1% step, just the next step, this is the way. This is the way to be in a proactive doing, like to take the next step, to do this 1%. You know that you're in a position that you're proactively helping yourself to move forward. And this is a very, very important thing when, you know, instead of freezing or feeling that we are, we don't know how to act, just to do one thing and it takes us further.
Yeah.
So where's Appsflyer in a few years from now? What a
we'll
future...
see. We'll see. We're open for opportunities.
The 99% of opportunities.
Absolutely.
You're just 1% down in Appsflyer, huh?
Yeah. I think Appsflyer has a lot of opportunities now, specifically in the era of AI and the technological age that we are right now. You know, you can also compare it to the launch of the first iPhone. And it was an amazing, life-changing experience for us. It changed us for good. We are connected from every minute and place we are, but we also addicted to the screens, and our kids are addicted, and we need to find the right tools to balance it. The same with AI. It can take us into amazing efficiency, opportunities, and access to the information, but it will also bring some difficulties in having the trusted sources of information and make sure that information available from masses are trusted information and how people consume these AI tools. So Appsflyer has a lot of gain from this technological revolution because it is. So I'm very excited about Appsflyer future.
That sounds amazing.
Last year we acquired 2 new companies, Ulu and Dev2Dev, which is a very exciting moment for us. Amazing teams, people, very high spirit.
And also another way of growth, because not just the financial growth, you're starting to work integration with other companies, post-merger integration. It's always... you're doing something, and then there's the next phase of growth. And you as founders needs also to learn how to lead in this situation. It changes all the time.
Of course.
It changes all the time. I'll just say one thing before we hit the pause button, that I look at you and I see your, shining, brighting eyes, not just because they are blue, but
and you read
the smile.
Reading on my
t-shirt. No, I didn't read. I was focused on your eyes, not to be confused. And I want to say something that for everyone that listens, female, male, it doesn't matter, young or mature, of course, that being both a startup founder, a tech executive, HR marketing, doesn't matter, or any other role, and a mother of 4 children, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's also full of joy and full of fulfillment. And yes, it's also full of challenges. And life is full of challenges, no matter where we go, no matter what the way we look at this. And the spirit and the mindset and the way that we approach it and the courage that we have to address it, this is the answer. Like, this is what helps us lead in this way. And it's possible, to do it in a great manner, and having the support system and the right spouse that help you or help him, doesn't matter, to do it. This is like key to success, and it's really, really fun for me to see you on so many, I don't like to give titles, but you're, in hats. So many labels and hats, as a co-founder, as a tech executive, as a mother, as a spouse, check. And you know, you're flourishing in it. And because it's all aligned very deeply to who you are and the way you see life, and you live accordingly to it. So it's really to appreciate and to see it. And
Thank you. I appreciate it. I truly believe that we are the makers of our life journey. And everything I have in life is because I was conscious on making it as a reality.
That's beautiful.
You know, there's a saying that says, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
And I wish only for the best. Like, I don't bother myself thinking about the horror movies or bad scenarios that can happen in life. I'm focused on the positive things and what good things that I can do, I can experience, we can do for the community. And the whole system that I built around myself was the conscious thinking about what I want to be a reality in my life. And of course, I had many challenges and not everything worked smoothly for me. And being an immigrant, 17 years old, not speaking the language, not having any family or understanding the tradition was very hard for me. I converted Jew. And I went through the Orthodox conversion, which also was a very difficult, and it's a whole story for a separate podcast, if you wish. And but I learned so much from every experience I had in life. I think when you focus on learning, you can only earn.
Definitely. Definitely. I don't have anything to add to this. Just to learn all time.
And
it's written while
there's
at the
only one alternative to peace.
Lisa, thank you so much. We had like so many interesting insights and learnings during this conversation. Thank you for being so open and sharing like everything in a transparent manner. People that wants to contact you, to be in touch with Appsflyer, what is the best way to do it?
They can do it by LinkedIn. You're going to share, my LinkedIn, so they can reach out to me or through Appsflyer. I'm open.
Great. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, and I wish everyone a happy Purim.
Happy Purim. It won't be, broadcasted today, but happy Purim, happy holidays.
Yeah.
Anyway, and hopefully happier days
and
here
happy times
for us.
coming.
Happy times. Yeah, hopefully. Finger crossed. To our lovely listeners, we're going to hit pause until the next episode. That's also something I say to the entrepreneurs in my clinic in between sessions. If you enjoyed listening, I would really appreciate it if you share the podcast with people who you think would derive value from it. The Human Founder podcast can be found on all leading podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, others. You are invited to subscribe and follow us and to be the first to hear new episodes. Please mind to rate the podcast so more people can listen and enjoy to it. Thanks to the amazing studios here at Google for Startups. Feel free to visit my website at galiblochliran.com and leave your details there if you wish to be updated and learn more about the mental aspects of the entrepreneurial journey. Let's hit pause. Till next time. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Gali.